Hello, everyone, and welcome back finally to another episode of the Diverse Dialogues podcast. We are on episode 8. Guys, he's back.
Yeah, guys. I was sick the last podcast, so I ate 3 chalupas to make up for it.
And then I got sick and I had a smoothie and made a new short for it, to make up for it, I should say. But now we're back, and then to make up for the last week of not having a podcast, we are actually going to upload another episode of the podcast next week. And we'll talk about what we're going to do in that podcast later on in the end of this video. But without further ado, let's just get right into the questions, getting right back in the game. And you know what, Ruben, I'll let you start first.
All right, so first off, everyone, the theme for this podcast is scrapped ideas.
Yep.
Mainly for our channel, of course. So my first question is, are there any ideas you had that you were glad they were scrapped? I only have one, and it's honestly not that bad. More like just extremely outdated. But it's from the Google Doc. One of them is the title was "What the F is Velma?"
Oh my god.
Because that was at the time when the Velma show was a thing, and I think we all know how much everyone hated that show.
Yep.
Because, be real, who the hell asked for that show?
Off the top of... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
But, like, the hate literally lasted for, like, a week or a month at most. So, by the time that idea was formed, no one cared about that show.
Yeah, they just...
It's like, okay, we all hate that show. Okay, let's just move on.
Just off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything that I'm glad that we scrapped. But at the same time, though, I'll keep it brief for this specific question, but we'll probably dive into it more. I'm glad that we scrapped the first recording of Pete's.
Yeah.
Again, we'll go into it later, probably when we do a Ruben segment of the video, which we'll get into in a minute. But yeah, the first recording that we did with Pete's, if we were to try to actually record in the way that we tried to record it, it probably would have taken a lot longer to just get it done and also try to like link it up to what we were trying to do. I'm keeping it brief so that we can keep it more detailed later on in this episode. But what I'm basically saying is that when we first tried to record this, it was a mess and a half, and the world itself did not look that great, unlike what it is now. But now we're still running into complications with this stupid fucking project. But other than that, that's my answer. And for my question is, would you consider reusing any of these scrapped ideas? It really depends.
Yeah.
Overall on what it is, because as much as it would be fun to record some of them or to remake some of them, I'm afraid that it just won't turn out well, or I'm afraid that like it would just feel forced. But if the idea, or maybe if there's a moment where like, oh, we could probably do it this way, and we're all like, oh, yeah, that's awesome. We can definitely probably do that if we were to think of that, but that depends on whether or not the group actually gives a fuck.
Yeah. Scrapped ideas. I mean, this is more particularly for like one video, not like a series of one, but a bunch of scrap stuff for Corona Apocalypse, which I will get into in a bit. But I mean, there is some stuff that's just thrown there just for jokes, but there's also stuff that like I think it could work if we like put it in. Like, if we were to remake Corona Apocalypse, which, again, I'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, that's something that we've been talking about for a while.
My question next? So, my next one is, what is the funniest scrapped moment? And I'm going to go first on this one. I mentioned this on the very first podcast, but there's a specific video Mateo posted about a Widowmaker gameplay on Overwatch, and I hate it because it's a stain, because it reminds us that one of the funniest moments in this group has ever happened, and it was not recording, unfortunately.
Or it wasn't recording properly.
The audio was not recording. That's what it was. But it was like, I'm being dead ass when I say this, it was genuinely the hardest I've ever laughed in like the past 2 years at that moment.
To give a little bit of context for those that are not 100% sure what we're talking about, when we were recording some Overwatch gameplay, Tom was talking about a specific Google Doc that had a whole bunch of what was it? Just how to play Overwatch competitively.
Like how to get good at Overwatch or something, or like tips and tricks on Overwatch with Tom.
And I mean, theoretically, and Tom's credit, if we were not good at Overwatch at all, it maybe would have been fun, or it would have been like a nice thing to have, and it would have been cool because maybe I shouldn't talk about it too much, but I'll say this much: we all clowned on him because at that point we were all moderately good, and the Google Doc itself was like 1,000 pages long. I'm over exaggerating, but it was like really long. And we were like, nobody ain't got time to just fucking look at that goddamn Google Doc that looked like it was made by ChatGTP.
Yeah, I noticed that like the day after that Google Doc was posted, I was like, huh, this format looks like something off of ChatGPT. What's meant. Even like when Tom like heard about like we were recording, even though we did not know the audio was, even he was like, oh, if you're gonna post this, you should title it like top 500 player gets roasted by Overwatch noobs or something.
Yeah, and but at the same time though, there were a lot of other things that were said in that recording that probably would have been really bad.
Yeah.
But on to my final question. Is there a current uploaded video on the channel? So any of the videos that are uploaded on the channel currently right now that you wish was scrapped? Probably the teacher video.
I mean, it technically already is since no one can see it right now.
Yeah, but I wish that we probably would have just like not had it been released at all.
Damn, I actually can't really think of one, honestly. Honestly, I guess that Widow gameplay that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Because it's just Widow gameplay. Like, you could just search up Overwatch Widow gameplay. I'm sure you can find something better.
Yeah, and on top of that, mainly because it was just Widow gameplay with no commentary at all. Mm-hmm. And the context that is needed to understand why it is like that to this day, it's kind of important. But if you just see it as a regular Widow gameplay, you're probably going to be like, okay, sure, that exists.
Yeah, and if you're an Overwatch pro, you probably would not like it.
All right, but that's it for the questions, and now we're going to move on to the topic of the video, like we said, which is scrapped ideas. All right, so as we said, the topic of the video is going to be scrapped ideas, so this is how it's going to work. We're going to first go over the segment where it is basically about this whole Google Doc that we had saved up a while ago, where it contained most of our ideas that we are either like planning to do or just writing them down just so that we can get some ideas out, just brainstorm, just puke on a goddamn Google Doc, and save basically a whole bunch of saved up ideas that were then abandoned because duh. Mm-hmm. And then after that, we're going to go over to Ruben's segment, which he has a whole bunch of a couple of other scrapped ideas that were not mentioned, or just basically talking about overall things from specific videos. For instance, Chronopocalypse, and also a part of our Discord that we also had a bunch of scrapped ideas. I'm putting air quotes up because technically they're ideas. I mean, they're not scrapped, they're just out there, they're just abandoned. Yeah. And then we'll then also talk about Pete's, since that also was a scrapped idea itself, but is being brought back to life, which is kind of one of the reasons why we're even bringing up this video. But other than that, let's get right into it. So, pulling up the Google Doc right now. So, we actually did have 2 off-rip that were completed, which was the Diverse Society Hater, which is the one where Jordan pretty much like roasts me, and the boys meme, which is Montana coming out of the closet. Those were the first that were pretty much completed. But then, all right, we're going to start off with a pretty big one, which is the music genres represented in a nutshell.
Oh, I remember this.
Skit. Now, if we were to actually make this could have probably been our biggest project we've done, or at least one of the biggest projects that we've done. Why am I pulling up Discord for some reason? All right, there we go. Just making sure we're recording. All right, cool. So, yeah, this one would have been our big one, not just because it's just one of our basically our old formatted skit videos where we go from each genre and just make a funny skit about it, but we would have actually recorded actual like our own music just to avoid copyright, and then make music videos for them.
Yeah.
That
I think like at some point I was just like, let's not make it into a comedy skit, just make it music in general. But yeah.
And I did at least try to attempt to make a couple of songs, but it's hard to make jazz music. Rap and hip hop, it probably would have been easy. Country, that would have been easy. Pop music, that's eh.
He did R&B, which actually sounded really good.
Oh, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Metal, I'm a fucking metal nerd, so I metal and rock would have been pretty much easy to do. And EDM, I probably would have just made something up. And yeah, so we could have probably made a lot of the music and just made dumbass music videos for it. But I'm not exactly sure what stopped us from doing it. I think our plan was that we were going to do it at some point, and then it just trickled away over time.
Yeah, I think, and also I think this was around the time where like we agreed that like we should honestly just stop with the skits since, I mean, it was explained in a video or so, but that was at the time where like, okay, let's just stop with skits. Let's just do other stuff instead.
Yeah. This is one of those ones where like I would not be mad about like actually just making the music itself because I love making music. It's like a little side hobby that I do.
It honestly doesn't even have to be one video. You could just make a song here and there. Just post that song, whatever.
If you guys want to see the Diverse Society create music, then let us know. Maybe
It's
we'll
mainly
probably...
Mateo though, because he's like.
I'm making the music, but they could probably write lyrics or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say Mateo's like the most knowledgeable on music compared to most of us.
Yeah. A lot of us listen to music.
Yeah.
I'm learning about music. All right. Moving on to types of teachers. We already did that one. I regret it. This was another one of Ruben's ideas. Types of game show contestants.
Same thing as the music one. This was also around the time where we agreed that like, skits, just done. Honestly, that's going to be a majority for a bunch of these. Because I remember 2 that I have saved on my phone that I'm probably going to delete because it's going to be documented on this video. But all I'm going to say is a large majority of these videos is something along the lines of types of blank. And it's usually a comedy skit. And we've said this so many times, comedy is extremely subjective. So we cut it.
We cut the umbilical cord. We flatlined.
Yeah, so that's going to be the case with a majority of these.
Although we are technically bringing back a little bit of that comedy skit thing with the recent video that we did about the video games and an upcoming video pretty soon about this exact topic of comedy.
Honestly, if we're doing comedy skits, it's most likely not going to be in the template of types of blank.
It's just going to be just like a talking video that just is more so making fun of a certain subject matter and then adding comedy towards it.
Yeah.
But I actually will say the majority. This was actually Ruben's last idea in terms of like a comedy skit idea that's like types of, because most of the time a lot of the skits that were made on the channel were mainly from Ruben, and this was the last idea that he thought of. And even at the time I was like, this seems like I pulled this one out of my ass type of idea.
I mean, it kind of is, but let's admit. Yeah, I'll just say that, yeah.
All right. YouTube versus editor. I think this was like one of the ones I made, where it's like a YouTube editor is like trying to make a video, and then someone else would like pretend to be YouTube and just like say like denied or something to like any of the. I think we have it written down. Yeah, like YouTube being like a higher up like not like a principal, but just like a higher being, just being like, no, you cannot do that edit. It's like, what the fuck?
Like,
what can I do
like
then?
What's meant like anything you do is basically demonetized. Is that the joke?
Basically, yeah.
Oh well, sorry to.
I know.
Yeah, Meat Canyon already beat you to that joke.
I just yep. Yeah. So, and a lot. I don't even. Just gonna move on at this point. I think this is one of Jordan's ones. POV, you open a pack of gum. Random guy is asking you for gum that escalates very quickly.
I feel that can be a short.
I think that,
yeah, when I say short,
it's a short.
When I say a short, I literally mean you can do this in like 10 seconds.
You don't hit one gum.
I could do it. I could do it for you better. All right, I'm holding the camera right now, y'all. Got some gum. Oh, you want gum?
Oh, yeah, thanks. Wow, so inventive. Thanks, Jordan. Didn't Dashi even have like a gum opening skit or something like that way back in the day?
Yeah.
So that just makes it even more. Oh my god! I just saw what the other one was. Types of Twitch streamers. I think this was one of Jordan's ones.
Oh yeah, that has to be.
The first one is like types of the types of ones that. Bleh. The types of Twitch streamers. I can't talk. So the first one already on this list is females, where it says gets a donation but accidentally talks in manly voice. Ragers, rages at something. Gamblers, loses their life savings. Cooking, work in progress, it says. The trespasser, in an area that's off limits. Oh, okay, I know what they mean. Just chatting, talks about the most random shit. ASMR, just eating in the mic. Friend comes up and they stare at each other and the friend talks to some shit. Then MF goes back to ASMR. Sleep stream, gets a donation and plays loud audio, then wakes them up. Music, dares the musician to play a song that they hate, and the musician gets mad, and you get the idea.
Yeah, same thing as our other types of skits.
Which, I mean, we could have probably been able to do this one, but...
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of these have just been done so many fucking times, though, that, like...
Yeah, I feel like if you can... Yeah, I feel you guys can probably search this up on YouTube right now, and chances are there's already a skit on it.
Video games in real life. And it has no description.
I'm gonna tell you guys right now, there actually is a video about this on YouTube. So we don't need to do it.
Alright, perfect. Prank call gone wrong. Short. I'll let you guys know like which ones are going to be like full-length videos and which ones are labeled as shorts because, duh, it's pretty obvious. Person calling calls the wrong... Oh, okay. The person calling calls the wrong person and the person finds out where they are and chokes them.
That is so 0 to 100? Who came up with that?
I think that was Jordan.
Okay, that sounds like him.
Trying to get the gang together short.
I mean, we technically do joke about this from time to time. Like, where's everyone else? Or like, why don't the gang do something like that?
Oh, and this shows how dated this thing is. Where it goes to Landon, it basically is a reference to the Corn Apocalypse. That fucking part I wanted was in a scrap. Yeah, basically that.
Yeah.
And then insert who else but Landon right after the...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay, this was around the time, like, we were just including inside jokes in our videos.
Yep.
So no one else but us will get them. But, I mean, I guess we can talk about the who else but Landon thing.
I guess.
There was going to be this, like, cycle where, like, each of us do, like, dumb shit, and then some random person would be like, who else but? And then just insert a random person's name. So, yeah, it's...
And it was most prominent with Landon out of all of us.
Because Landon said that infamous line in Corn Apocalypse, and then I say, who else but Landon?
And they became a small meme in the group.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just an inside joke at this point. Like, whenever... I'll see it when anyone does anything stupid, we just say, who else but? And then say their name.
Yeah. I mean, this could probably be done. This, like, skit, maybe like a short, maybe like a regular video, who knows.
I mean, we technically already recorded both of them, but... Yeah.
True. Who else but series? Yeah, so we were planning to make a series.
I just made this. I just talked about this. I didn't even know that was an idea on there.
Who else but series? Funny joke probably won't be a series. Then why the fuck do we do... Okay.
Okay, then that definitely was not me who wrote that.
I think it was Jordan. I think a lot of these were Jordan. I could be wrong, though.
Huh, that explains why a majority of them are 0 to 100.
Alright, oh god, alright, these next two.
Hold up.
Landon's ideas.
Oh boy, okay, I have an entire rant on these two. Because it's not just Landon, but it's a majority of these fuckers who do not put in any detail into these goddamn scripts. So, what is our first one?
The first one is types of animation studios.
Okay, animation studios. Now, I have it on my phone because this has been bugging me since God knows how long this doc was made, like 2023 or something.
Maybe 2022.
And it's 2025 right now.
Yeah.
So this has been bugging me for like at least a year and a half. These descriptions for these skits. So animation studios, and like I said, I have them on my phone. First one, Disney, description, money hungry. And I'm like, okay, that can work. I'm assuming it'd be like an office setting. Being like, all right, guys, so what movie shall we make? How about we make like a, like this very emotionally invested film about like some kid struggling to find out his, I don't mean to get on a touchy subject, finding about his, orientation and all that.
Nah, let's make a fucking remake.
Let's make a remake of Lion King, even though we made like wait, no. How about we make a remake of Lion King? You're getting promoted. That one could work. However, the next one, DreamWorks. The description, Shrek. What are we doing there? Are we putting an image of Shrek? Are we cosplaying Shrek? Are we doing the Shrek impressions? What's the description for that?
And now it's kind of outdated because the Shrek movie is coming out. Well, it's not going to come out in a very long time, but still.
Yeah. Next one, Illumination. Minions. Same problem as Shrek. What are we doing? Cosplaying as Minions, doing Minion impressions, putting an image of a Minion, like a PNG. AARD. I honestly didn't even know that was even a company. But it says stop motion takes up people's lifespan. I mean, that one technically can work, even though we already made a joke similar to that on the YouTubers skit.
But the animation...
yeah. Where it takes them forever. It takes them years.
Fun skit to edit, by the way, with that whole like changing it from day and night.
Uh-huh.
That was pretty fun.
Last one, Blue Skies, robots. First of all, Blue Skies is not really known for robots of all things. I'll admit, Robots is a good movie, but when I hear Blue Sky, I think of Ice Age or Rio.
Yeah, literally those are their popular ones. Wait, isn't Blue Sky Studios like not even a thing anymore?
Yeah, and that's another thing. Blue Sky is not even a thing anymore. That's why their final send-off was an animation of the squirrel from Ice Age finally getting the acorn. And third of all, same exact problem as Minions and Shrek. Are we cosplaying robots?
Roblox.
Are we doing robot impressions? Are we putting an image of the robots movie cover?
This is Ruben releasing a whole bunch of tension for just like the dumbest shit ever.
All right.
But it doesn't stop there, folks, because we have one more.
We are halfway there with my rant. The next one, gaming companies.
Types of gaming companies.
First one, EA, give me that card. This has to be the most outdated joke in the history of anything because every video game company nowadays is money hungry. Blizzard, Nintendo, Activision, all of that.
Warner Brothers.
Second one, Activision. I just brought that up. Let's release the same game. Sure, yeah, every cause just a copy and paste of the previous one. But you can also say that with, like, Mario or something.
Yeah.
Rockstar, GTA 6 when? Oh my god, bro. That one aged like milk, bro. GTA 6 when? Bethesda, rip Halo. I don't even think Bethesda owns Halo. I thought it was Microsoft, now that I mention it.
Yeah, Microsoft bought Bethesda.
Okay. And Bethesda, if you want like a game more recognizable from that, it'd be either Fallout or any Elder Scrolls game.
Doom made Bethesda. Bethesda makes Doom, right? Or am I thinking of a different one?
I think you're different one.
Whatever.
But when I think of Bethesda, first thing that come to mind is either Fallout.
Oh my god! I just saw one of the next ones.
All right, NetherRealm, new game when? Can you tell when this script was made? By the way, y'all.
That means it was like 2002 or something, or like in between 2002 and 2003, somewhere around there. Because
2022.
2022, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it was 2023, by the way.
One of those two, I guess. I don't know.
Yes. And finally, Epic Games, that guy from Fortnite, which honestly, that has to be the oldest joke in the history of anything. Because, be real, y'all, when was the last time you actually heard that guy from Fortnite joke? Because at this point, everything is in Fortnite. Everything.
We might be in Fortnite.
Yeah, for all we know, we could be in Fortnite. There could be a King of the Hill collab for all I know.
Yeah, for the longest time, we were literally clowning on Landon for these ideas because, I mean, I respect the hell out of Landon for trying to at least put out an idea. But when you don't back it up, that was the thing that we also clowned on Landon for. Like, he would come up with a really good idea and then just have nothing planned for it whatsoever.
Yeah. It's like, this is the equivalent of, like, you're making a book. You design like the best cover in the world, but you have nothing written down. That is the equivalent of these two skits right here.
Landon, we love you, but at the same time, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah. And this was around the time I've noticed that like these people do not put in any description for any of these things.
They just throw out an idea and just expect us to create magic and just make something up.
Yeah. Anyways, that's me ranting.
All right, that's it for the rant, but we're not done. We still have a good chunk of the Google talk. We're not even halfway through the goddamn thing yet. Everything Wrong with Corn Apocalypse, we did that one. So that was one of the ones we actually did. When Mateo is out of session, leaving the other 5 idiots doing their own thing.
You know, you would think one of us would actually record this since you're barely in the Discord now.
I think it only happened one time at Jordan's channel.
Well, I mean, by a technicality, that's already done.
Yeah, technically already done, yeah. I'm going to mark it done. When you're on YouTube too much.
Wow, bro, that is an incredible description. When you are on YouTube too much.
I just love you just seeing Ruben just fucking losing his mind.
That has to be the most bare bones description I've ever heard. But
Discord podcast. That aged like fine wine.
wow.
Jobs that don't work in Zoom calls. This was one of the ones I remember. Like I had an idea for.
Oh no, you gave me flashbacks to the online school skit.
Oh. So, this also kind of shows how outdated this thing is. I think it was outdated even when I made this idea up. Comedian tells joke, but... Oh, I didn't even get to finish what the goddamn punchline was supposed to be. Musician slash band concert. Starts out fine. Then when they play their instruments, it lags and it's too loud. Magician walks away from camera from one side, then appears on the other. Okay, that's kind of stupid, but I kind of like it. Babysitting. Babysitter watches a freeze frame of kid on the couch. Meanwhile, the kid is doing something ridiculous. And there was supposed to be more, but I think I just gave up.
Wow. And my voice cracked.
Yeah. That's the equivalent of this whole Google Doc is just an embarrassment.
Alright.
But at least I gave it a description, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, that one could have worked if we were doing this in 2020.
Yeah.
That one would actually be good.
Living next to angry grandpa, be like, okay, I remember making that one. That was my idea.
Yeah, you can definitely tell what our interests are with these ones.
Yeah. Just gonna roll right past it. Minecraft players be like, a short series. I don't know if they mean like a video where it's a short.
We're already doing something on Minecraft. We're not even done with episode 1, if it even is a series in the first place.
I think it's supposed to be a series.
Yeah.
But we can't. I can't even get in the goddamn world. This is our. Oh my god. All right. Moving on. So it's I think it was supposed to be a series of shorts. Is what it's supposed to be. The average player. No description for that. The nomad. Oh, I even gave descriptions of what the character was supposed to be. Wanders off doing their own thing. I'm just gonna skip what their the descriptions are. And the wuss. The noob. And they're brothers, I guess.
They're brothers. We're having lore for a comedy skit.
The one that mines. I'm not gonna say the other version of it. The team player knows how to talk back.
What?
I don't even remember if I made this or not. The builder. Builds the most abstract stuff and makes it seem like it's simple. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I guess. The farmer.
They're brothers.
Crops. The prankster.
Buddy, this sounds like an average Vanoss crew video with Minecraft.
I mean, in some sense, we kind of are that. Yeah, I'm never gonna see that ever again.
Yeah. They're brothers, y'all. Okay, continue on.
Okay, so we did 2 of these from the skit. The when you were put on hold for way too long, we did that one. And online classes sucked.
Yeah.
You know what? I changed my mind. That's the one I wish it was scrapped. That's the one I wish it was scrapped. The online classes suck video. 5 kinds of people with money. Oh my god, I remember this. This was around the time where it was like me basically doing like a version of the Twitter skit where it's like me commentating about like the types of people that I would find like not I would find, but what the fuck? Basically, it's about like the 5 types of people that I have seen or I have made up when it comes to money. So there's the waster, basically wastes all their money on stupid shit. The spender spends a lot of money on like stuff that is semi-important, but at the same time though it's still not very useful. The average one, just your average day-to-day spender, like the more responsible one. The saver saves their money a little bit more responsibly, but can get a little bit hasty with it. And then the greedy motherfucker that just saves their money at any point. Like, they don't tip, they don't do anything. They will make sure that they get every last penny. They save every last penny that they have. And I kind of wish that this was one of the ones that I actually would have gone, like, just pushed out. But I guess I just kept holding back because I was just, I guess, insecure about this idea since I was just, like, trying to put it out. But who knows? But this was one of the ones that we probably would have been actually able to make.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, the experimental short film. We're working on this one currently, so
yeah,
that's as much as we're gonna put out because we're not gonna say anything else about it. But this is actually something we're actually making currently.
Is that the massive list of
all of Daryl's ideas?
Uh-huh.
You want to give a bit of context?
All right, so one of our friends back in high school, Daryl. Okay, so this was around the time, like, we had no idea what to post. Okay, this was the dark era of 2023, where we just did not know what to do. So Mateo, like, I think he messaged Daryl.
Yeah,
or something.
I asked Daryl, like, hey,
like some tips for, like,
like,
short
or like what
something.
collab. You think we're trying to do like a collab since he at the time had a YouTube channel, but now it's like completely abandoned.
I don't know what he's doing right now.
I think he's making music now, but.
Mm-hmm.
But back then he was making comedy skits, and I mean he had the goal to actually make comedy skits at school. God forbid we would have been able to do that.
Uh-huh.
But then I asked him and then he gave us a little bit of a adrenaline boost by giving us a couple of ideas, and a lot of those ideas were 10 ideas. When you ghost a girl, when you're defending a snitch in court, what is racism? How dumb horror movie characters are. We probably wouldn't be able to make that one. When you live with a psychic, I kind of want to make that one. When social media didn't exist, if social media doesn't exist, I guess, what I should say. Small talk is annoying.
What?
Okay. When the pastor is drunk. Okay. Cooking show parody. And if doctors were honest about your test results.
Okay, so back in the day, we thought these were, like, the coolest things. But the moment you said this, like, right now, these have to be the most bare bones descriptions.
I mean, the ones that I feel
only like 2 of these sound interesting.
How dumb horror movie characters are, and when you live with a sidekick. Those are the only ones I'm like, okay, I would actually be willing to try to make a script for. All the other ones are like,
you can do.
What do I do?
Yeah. Or whatever small talk is annoying crap.
I mean, I appreciate Daryl for at least giving us like a list of ideas for us to work with, but partially of it has to do with the fact that we just didn't do them at all. We were just kind of lazy to just. We were lazy is partially the reason why we didn't do them, but still though, what could we do with this?
Mm-hmm. Anyways.
Food reviews. So basically, at the time we were making drink reviews, and I was like, maybe we could probably do food reviews as well. That never happened.
Yeah, I think with the drink, like, for drink reviews, we mainly find, like, the most, like, random drinks we could find.
Obscure drinks.
Yeah, but foods, I don't really think you can do that. Like, there's not really, like, obscure foods you can find. I mean, you'll probably find them on, like
very obscure chip flavors or something.
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that. Who knows?
But either way, we can't really find that in, like, our area.
Oh my god, yeah, this definitely shows the outdatedness of it. Mortal Kombat 1 content. I mean, we did make content of Mortal Kombat 1, but if one of us can get an Xbox Series X, oh my god!
Brother.
That's the description.
Who wrote this?
I think it was like a mix of like me and Jordan and maybe Glenn too.
Oh my god, if one of us gets an X plus. Oh my god, dude. Oh.
So yeah, this definitely cements that this was 2023.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Cause wait, Mortal Kombat 1 was like announced like
2023, yeah.
like I'm trying to remember like when in 2023, like summer or something.
I don't know. I just know it was released around like fall of 2023.
Yeah, it was like September.
Yep.
Western short film. This was an idea that was talked about a couple of times.
Yeah. I think like we just came up with this like when Mateo bought Filmora, there's like all these like effects.
Oh yeah, and like western-y type of titles and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was titles. That's what it was.
Actually, it's kind of funny how a lot of the ideas that were actually like pushed out were because of me discovering like an effect in Filmora and be like, we should definitely make a movie out of this.
Uh-huh.
But also because, we made a script and everything.
But I mean, we can't really film that, y'all. We live in a city.
Unless we just find the most desert-looking area of California, which
I can barely film on like hot days on like here right now. I can't do that in a desert.
Why being loved and popular is impossible nowadays. Okay, I think a lot of the stuff I written down is that I would then describe it afterwards. Because this was another one of my ideas where it was like, people would then a new content creator would then be popular, and then all of a sudden the cancellation cult would then find a reason to cancel them, and then it just become like impossible to be loved and popular like in these days.
Uh-huh.
Which honestly just sounds more like a Sunny V2 video than if anything.
Yeah.
Twitter has gone to shit. Again, it shows how fucking dated this shit is.
Haven't we already done that?
We already fucking done that. I don't know why we...
why is that there?
When you move one thing in a department store, metal pipe sound effect. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can definitely tell these were dated as fuck. Y'all remember the metal pipe meme?
When you crack your net a little too hard, that was... Oh, this was like basically right around the time... Mortal Kombat was about to release, because I remember when we did a full month worth of shorts. I do remember that. This is like the first idea that was the first short that we made for the 30 days of shorts. Being sick represented as a house party. This was one of my ideas, and I immediately fucking I scrapped it because I realized how fucking dumb it was. Knockoff board games. Oh yeah, I remember this. Where it was like the cereal, like knockoff cereals that Dashi did for like his cereal pizza.
Oh, I remember this.
For your one of the games.
Yeah, this great game on the Nintendo Switch. It's very underrated. It's called Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics. Rolls right off the tongue. But basically, in that game, there's so if there's 51 games, you got all these card games, board games, etc. They also got like their versions of real life games like Connect 4, Uno, Sorry, and a few others. And I remember I made a joke a while back where I was impersonating Dashi when he made a joke about cereal boxes where he's like, Connect 4? Fuck that. 4 in a row, bitch! And there was like 5 games there, but yeah. Honestly, I could do... Next time I bring a Switch, I could literally do that.
We can literally make this skit. Along with another Dashi idea that we talked about before. The green screen.
I forgot to bring the clothes. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine. We can literally show up next week. So
yeah.
I'll remind you. Types of YouTubers part 2. Okay, so this was like us trying to do like impressions of like YouTubers again.
Yeah.
After our last one, which was both good and bad.
Uh-huh.
So we would have done an impressions of Corey X Kenshin, PewDiePie, Game Theory, Mr. Beast, again, Keemstar, maybe, Moist Critical, okay, that would have been funny, Cub Scouts, that's kind of I think this was like one of Jordan's ideas.
I'm gonna warn y'all right now, we ain't doing Mr. Beast.
Nope. Doc, what was I going to say? Mr. Daco. Daco, maybe. 8-Bit Ryan, maybe. Oh, that was another scrapped idea for an impressions video.
8-Bit Ryan, yeah.
8-Bit Ryan.
Yeah, it was for the YouTubers here, like the series of just random gaming YouTubers. One of them was 8-Bit Ryan, but it was too much editing, even though that was the point with parodying 8-Bit Ryan.
It was literally just the intro, but it was I would then add like an edit every like 3 seconds or like like basically make the screen unwatchable of edits.
Okay.
But I was like, I'm too lazy. I'm not gonna do it. But if we were to do this again, I feel like that would be pretty funny. Wolfie Raps, John Tron. Why is Gordon Ramsay on here? I mean, technically he is a YouTuber.
I think that was around the time when you and I were watching Kitchen Nightmares
Probably,
episodes.
yeah. And then Berlizzi. Gee, I wonder what fucking reference we probably would have made.
Uh-huh.
PNG tubers be like, that was Jordan's idea. And this was even before we met Lulu.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like him.
Having a stock image with gameplay in the background and be obnoxiously loud for no reason at all. Yep, that's Jordan.
That was PNG YouTubers back in 2021.
Oh, and now so this is when we finally started to make some Mortal Kombat content, and again with the 30 30 days of shorts. So we have average Rain player, we did that. Average Johnny Cage player, we technically did that. Average Raiden player, this is around the time when Raiden was fucking busted, and I would probably use like some audio of Palpatine. Actually, I could have done that, but I guess I just didn't. Average Reptile player. Use John Tron clip because I just found that funny. And then we had Scorpion and Baraka, and then we just gave up. Because we realized how fucking horrible of a game Mortal Kombat 1 was.
Yeah, here's the thing, let's admit. I don't mean to get on a little side tangent here, but back when TikTok was going to be banned, I was going to make a slideshow of like, since TikTok's being banned, I'll make a slideshow of like my least and most favorite games I've posted on my TikTok. And I remember Mortal Kombat 1 was at the bottom. Not as bad as Overwatch though. But for the description of Mortal Kombat 1, I was like, I remember me and all my friends were so hyped for this game, and it was like the most lackluster result in the history of anything.
Spoiler alert, that's going to be our topic for next week's podcast.
Yep.
Is a Mortal Kombat 1 review, because T1000 basically just released. So now the question is this going to be now it's been in talks on whether or not the game's actually finished, but to keep it safe, we'll still make a review for Mortal Kombat 1, and yeah, so we'll talk about that later on.
Mm-hmm.
When your disco audio is what did I just say?
Disco
audio? When your Discord audio is delayed, I'm assuming that was going to be like a short.
Wow, bro.
Where it's like, hey, like I ask you a question, and then it would take like years for it to be delayed. I guess I don't know, but
wow, bro.
Apple versus Android skit.
What?
Apple versus Android skit. I wonder how many times that's been done.
We're gonna make Xbox versus PS players now, even though it's 2025. Who the hell is doing console wars these days?
That's a good question.
Unless you're Stadia, then we're discriminating you. Anyways, continue.
Oh my gosh. All right. Okay, we're almost done, guys. We're almost done.
With the Google Doc.
Yeah. Worst places to buy clothes. Okay, I remember making this idea where it's like, it's gonna be one of those like things where like worst places to buy clothes. On like number 3, online, because you need to go to the store and actually like see if that actually fits. Thrift store, you never know what type of like diseases are in those things. And then I would then add the clip where it shows the infamous what do you mean you're at soup? Why are you buying clothes at the soup store? As like a fucking joke. I mean, I could probably still make that right now, but
yeah, you can make that into a short.
It was going to be a short.
Oh, okay.
So I guess I'll probably make that later. Who knows? Because it's kind of funny. POV, you face up against Havoc. Snaps his neck. Players confused. Jordan does the Markiplier punch. Wow.
Oh, this was like when the Reiko thing was a thing.
Yeah. At one point was our most viewed short was that Jordan Reiko video.
Yeah, this was around the time like Mortal Kombat 1 was just...
It was of course getting the hype because we were playing it. Yeah. But then people realized
it was whack.
Again, saving that for next week. Different types of textures. Okay, so this is basically like me playing off of that one of the YouTubers I used to watch back in the day. His name is Kevin LaShawn now, or Kevin L.A. Sean now. But back then it was iSexy. So if you guys know that YouTuber, you're awesome. And basically it was like an updated version, like a 2020 whatever at the time, a version of the texting nowadays. And we have immediate, indecisive, memester, late repliers, left you unread. It's supposed to be more, but of course we got lazy. So, I mean, we could probably make a skit about that. It probably would be pretty funny. All right. How it feels to be the only normal one in the chat. That's one of the ones that we've done. I might make it like another version of that. The Cringeinator. I remember this.
What the fuck? Is that a skit?
No, it was supposed to be like a YouTube series where like one of us would be like pretend to be like a Terminator figure that would watch cringe content and destroy them.
Huh?
I'm just as confused about it as you are, so I regret that. Okay, we're finally at the last page of it, and then we're gonna move on to Ruben's part. Mm-hmm. Impressions video. Oh my god.
I mean,
Part 2.
Oh, okay. I mean, we did one, so.
But I would like to do another one though, so leave a like down below if you guys want to see another impressions video, because I legitimately want to do another one of those. Things we always lose: expensive sunglasses, guitar picks, phone, keys, and I guess that was gonna be like a short. That could be funny, I guess. Who knows? This was gonna be in February, so I'm assuming in like 2024, 2023, or like I think it was like 2024. POV, you are a single gamer scrolling on social media in February.
Hmm.
And I wrote the script right here. Yeah, I just wanted to watch some epic duos in gameplay, but instead I'm getting shoved in the face with cute couples in cosplay.
Yeah.
That's about right.
At the time, guys, I couldn't relate. I'm just gonna say that.
Alright, and then we got POV, you watch a lovely video on Instagram, and then you scroll through the comments. That's a short I did that if you guys even saw it, but I think
I remember that
views. Reiko Smackdown short, where it was like, just Reiko just punching the shit out of you. The comments of a cute couples short be like, and it's just like a series of like the very messed up and like just lonely ass shit that they say. Mm-hmm. And the last one on here was the indecisive ones be like, oh yeah, I remember this. It was a short series. Writes another answer on a test saying I don't know. Takes forever to choose what they want on the menu. Takes forever what they want at a store. So yeah, basically just like making fun of people who are very indecisive. So.
Okay.
Which again could be funny.
Yeah, that one actually could work. That one you only need like one person, by the way.
Maybe two. But yeah, that's the entirety of the Google Doc. Yeesh.
Yep. Now
we're gonna move on to Ruben's segment of the video, which is basically his whatever he written down before, and also Chronopocalypse, and also talking about Pete. But first, let's just take a quick little break, and we'll be right back. All right, now I'm gonna be pretty much passing it over to Ruben, where he has pretty much a lot of the ideas that were not documented on the Google Doc, but have been ideas that were thrown out, or basically, you know what? I'll just have Ruben talk about it.
Okay, so basically, on our Discord group chat, we have a channel where we talk about ideas, and people just write them down, just send it in the chat, and people will be like, okay, I like that idea. Which, spoiler alert, I'm gonna say this, y'all, we have not done a single one of these, because I've noticed that every video we write down, we do not do them, but an idea that's just thrown out there, we actually do them, which is weird. Anyways, to top it all off, I don't even remember when this was made. This was a analog short film. This was your idea, by the way. I don't even know what this is, honestly. Wait. Oh, no, this is a series of short films. Okay, never mind. Yeah, and then you just say you build off ideas. Okay, so this was the first one. A found footage thriller survival movie where someone or some people are trapped in a cabin/shelter in freezing cold weather where a deadly disease known as frostbite.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this one.
Cryo week.
Frostbite is spreading during these freezing temperatures. And then, okay, this one was, okay, even though it says Mateo typed this one was my idea. Film idea, a comedic superhero film. Based on the genre, I'm sure you guys can already guess what the first problem is. But it's basically where, like, a group of friends, they get superpowers, but, you know, they're, like, very irresponsible on it. So, like, when they try to help people out in the world, they actually mess things up. And then over time, they think to themselves, you know, guys, we actually need to take in the responsibility with these powers. And no, I'm not saying that stupid Madam Web quote. So, you know, they actually learn, they become responsible, and they, like, become great superheroes. Which, funny enough, the reason I came up with this was because I thought that was what The Boys was about, the Amazon series, which it turned out to be something completely different.
Oh yeah, there's the image of like all of the ideas too.
Yep.
Like,
And like I said earlier, the reason we can't do this is because this is a superhero film, and we are not that good on editing, or at least Mateo isn't. I don't know.
I can try.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not against it because it's still an idea. I would just need to like practice, of course, and yeah, it's like some notification. But yeah, overall, it's just a matter of me learning how to edit, and then just us having to do like, you know, poses for it, and then we should be good from there, and then just write us like a funny comedy about it.
Like, some superpowers can be easy to make, like super speed. All you gotta do is just speed up the footage. But if it's something like super strength, like, yeah, I don't know. Or if it's like a fireball or something, I don't know.
And in that same channel on the Discord, Ruben did kind of like just skip over the idea of the like a couple of the ideas that I had on like where it was like an image of like the ideas I had written down, not on Discord, but on like my notes. And the first one was the psychological horror film, which we're technically actually working on right now. So that's
Yep. Just save it there.
yeah. Don't want to say anything. Then there's a comedy film, a analog found footage horror film where it's about these two guys. Basically, I wanted to experiment with doing like one where it's like not on a tripod, and it's just like me and Ruben just like, you know, finding like audio tapes like of a missing person, and like where is this missing person's case that we're trying to like solve, but because the police just couldn't, like, always found dead ends. We could probably make that one. A sci-fi comedy. It's sci-fi. You already know how that's gonna be if it's not gonna be edited great. Oh yeah, where it's like an AI product that just like roasts the crap out of you. I remember that. And then remaster of Chronopocalypse.
We will get into that in a bit.
All right, but back to Ruben.
Back on track. So yeah, superhero film. No way we doing something that advanced. So yeah, that's why we're not working on that right now. Oh, there's another film idea on here. A mysterious psychological film where it centers a man who can help people desperate needs. However, there is an untold catch to his solutions that end up screwing up over the people he helps with working. Working title name, The Medicine Man.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I don't remember much of this, honestly. And next one, film idea, detective black and white film. There is nothing on that. It's
just work in progress.
Yeah.
I have like the title and a story technically written down, but we need to have the editing work on it and also just find time to make it.
Yeah, and like we need to actually focus on the setting
that too.
For this film.
Yep.
Because in this room right now we're in, most things are way too modern.
I mean, my bed kind of would work, and like the bed's the only like kind of outdated thing. Other than that, everything else is too modern.
Yeah. Next up, a monster horror movie where a group of teens summon a creature that kills each other one by one. Working title, The Entity.
I want you to take 3 main guesses on who do you think might have made that idea.
Let's see here. Horror group film with a group of teens summon a creature and it kills them one by one. And the title is The Entity. Oh boy. I mean, it says you put it on here though.
But it's Glenn.
Okay.
It's Glenn's idea.
Oh boy. Next up, Film idea. Roblox. Okay, this one has to be for joke
Yeah.
purposes. I doubt someone put this as a
No,
genuine idea.
Jordan has made that joke constantly, and I just wrote it down just because it was funny. But I think Jordan legitimately wants to do it
Oh my gosh, bro. All right, great.
because it's just how Landon is built.
Okay, this one. I want to get to it at some point. This one's my idea, by the way. A comedy slash PSA about why young people don't go outside anymore.
Yeah.
You know, they try to go bowling, restaurant, all that stuff. I think this is one I want to make the most. Yeah. Film idea. A comedy short where a comedian runs for president as a joke only to win. I think this was around the time, like, when we opened up AI to give us script ideas, which is what gave us the idea of Sinistrophobia.
Yeah.
So I think this is another one.
Or like just some like article that just gave you like a whole bunch of ideas, and then we just went with the one that was just the stupidest idea.
Uh-huh.
And then that was one of them as well. But
Uh-huh. Oh, I remember this one. A murder mockumentary about a serial killer who would kidnap people and would keep them until he finds a reward for finding the person. If they don't offer a reward, he will kill them. But you put down
yeah,
it's for your mom's birthday, for stuff.
I mean, and I just thought it would be like a fun idea, and I would have Montana just it. You know, honestly, I don't think it actually would be that hard to make because it's just us going to be talking about it and just like still images of Montana. That's basically my idea. So maybe that'll be our film in the later this fall. Who knows?
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay. Now we got a big one, y'all. So now we've reached a big one. So this was like the beginning on like when everyone was clowning on Tom about the whole Overwatch Google Doc thing. In fact, I think this was the beginning about like. So his idea was that he wanted to do an Overwatch tournament thing. As you can guess, we're not doing that because Overwatch is the worst video game in the world. So Tom wanted to do like an Overwatch tournament thing, and he was gonna coach us and teach us how to play the game, even though Jordan plays with us and he's probably the most experienced with Overwatch.
Correction, he is the most experienced. He's played it since day fucking one.
And basically, he wanted like us to form a team, and we'll be going up against Tom's like esports team or something. So we would be in an actual tournament or something like that.
Now, I don't mind the idea of actually us doing a tournament just for the fucking hell of it, but with Overwatch?
Yeah, we ain't playing. I mean, we're not doing it because Overwatch is terrible, bro. We're not playing that game. Yeah, like Tom literally put down like actual like timetables for these tournaments. So like this tournament was not for shits and giggles. He actually wanted us to participate in an esports tournament, which I'm just gonna throw this right now, y'all. I am not a competitive gamer. I just play for fun.
Same.
Even if I lose nonstop, I play for fun. Okay.
Yeah, literally same.
So yeah, this was the beginning of the.
Oh wow, thanks
Fun.
Lulu for just a great idea that was not followed up with whatsoever.
Oh boy, yeah, Lulu's idea. We play Lucio Ball. That's it. Like I said, we are not playing Overwatch because that is the worst video game in the world. Alright, this one's your idea.
Yep.
A comedy film where it centers three friends. One of us lost memory, but still remembers the basics, his name, family, etc. But two other friends have to help regain his memory. One is trying, and the other is taking advantage and gaslights him, makes lies, etc. Okay, this one's actually like decent. So yeah, it's basically about of like the one who's like honest about the memories and the other who's just taking advantage or something.
Yeah, and just making fun of it. I feel like this would be another one, another good idea.
Yeah.
I don't want to toot my own horn or anything, but I think a lot of the ideas that I make and provide actual detail for have potential.
Uh-huh. You actually wrote down like an entire thing as well. Alright. Oh, well, okay. Lulu's idea, I tried to teach you guys how to play Genshin Impact.
No.
Yeah, that was Glenn's response to that. You don't need to teach me how to play Genshin Impact, because I played that game for an hour and I instantly got bored of it. Tom's idea, a Pokemon Jeopardy quiz.
Quiz?
Quiz. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Pokemon Jeopardy quiz. Lulu's idea, a video essay about old games we liked. Funnily enough, this was around the time I was playing Dead Island, because Dead Island was an old game I played back when I was like 8 years old. Playing it now, that game is like terrible. And I like Glenn's response to this as well. No. Your idea, a prop hunt video.
'Cause I love prop hunt, but Jordan hates it. So I guess anything that Jordan hates, we just don't do apparently.
Like I said, y'all, anything that's documented does not become a video, so keep that in mind. Lulu's idea, radio host predicts your death, and it has a connection with the 7 deadly sins as well. So gluttony, you eat so much you die. Sloth, you probably die of a heart attack or something for just simply not moving. I don't know, that's all the ones I can think off the top of my head. That was pretty much it, though. No description. Glenn's idea, Friday the 13th with proximity chat. Hasn't become a thing. Mateo's idea, an analog horror series about an interviewer who is a serial killer, and he records his interviewers that later turn into him killing them for his amusement. And I like Jordan's response to this, which is trickster at killer. Yeah. Which, I'm sorry to say this, but that is basically the trickster from Dead by Daylight. Except it's not interviews, it's screams.
Yeah.
Yeah, Glenn's idea. And I quote, fucking with random people in Sea of Thieves.
What?
Alright, pause on that. And Jordan responds with, not Overwatch. Yeah, they're talking about like E-Dater, like shit, like the custom games or whatever.
And the last thing that was posted in this goddamn chat was just the emojis that we always sent to Tom.
Yep. Yeah. You can definitely tell who's like the most useful members compared to everyone in this group and who's not.
AKA probably the only two talking in this goddamn room right now.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't really want to try to throw them under the bus because, I mean, I'm not saying that they are not trying entirely. They're just not putting enough of the effort that we put into this.
Mm-hmm. All right. We're done with the Discord, but we have like 2 more things. Coronapocalypse and Pete's. Let's start with Coronapocalypse.
Yep.
So for the longest while, we've been thinking about recreating Coronapocalypse. Well, obviously we're not going to call it Coronapocalypse because the virus is not relevant anymore. Like, be real, y'all. When was the last time you heard about it? So when we were filming Coronapocalypse, I documented like a bunch of scrapped content. And I still laugh at it to this day.
We have talked about it before in like a little bit of the timeline video that we did not that long ago. Yeah. But we're not going to go into more full detail about all of these scrapped ideas this time.
All right. So the first idea was zombies, because at first we thought it was going to be a zombie apocalypse film. But we've said this a bunch of times. Coronapocalypse was entirely improv. There's a dialogue with like the whole montage of like showing the destroyed city of Mateo starting off his dialogue with "We were lied to," and it was definitely improv. It was something like "We were lied to," "We were lied by the higher beings," something like that. I don't even remember.
And I think I remember you saying like, "What is this propaganda bullshit?"
Yeah, it's like religious propaganda or something. One of our characters was gonna have a bow and arrow as a weapon, because Mateo's little brother Connor was taking archery class or something. And you got some minor scenes like, I don't know, Mateo meeting Montana or something like that. So I'll just skip those. Landon was going to be a newscaster, which I'll forgive because we did not have green screen at the time. So.
And we also did not know how to do it entirely either, so.
Yeah. And his little brother, Grayson, was going to be involved in this skit. I don't know whose idea, it has to be Landon's, but apparently his little brother Grayson was going to play this like goblin creature that hides in the closet, and every now and then Landon would like have like, all right, here's some water. Drink it before Mateo gets here or something. I don't know whose idea this is. It has to be Landon's.
Who else but Land?
There was going to be a guitar scene.
Oh, God.
Now, okay, I can forgive this because, it could indicate, that these guys still have some sort of entertainment in this messed up apocalypse. Right after that, though, is the infamous Vital scene, which we've parodied on the timeline video.
And showed as well.
Yep.
That was... I remember I showed you that clip on campus, and then you were just fucking dying.
Let's see here. There's the melancholy music scene, not the music, because you were actually talking about like a scene where like we have like a genuine emotional conversation. Like, guys, no matter how much work and effort we do, we're not gonna escape this apocalypse. Something like that.
Oh, I think I remember that.
Yeah. I'll just skip that. One of our characters was gonna have a gun. That's it. That's all.
Yeah, just put the logic together on a non-zombie apocalyptic film.
Okay, this was something Mateo wanted to test out split screen. So there's a footage of me going something like, "Guys, look at the news" or something like that.
No time to explain.
Yeah, but we did, or yeah, we just did not do it or something. I don't know.
The split screen was.
Oh, news was gonna be on TV. That's what it was.
Yeah, and that too.
Mm-hmm. There was going to be a security guard scene. There's that. But that was at the time we just wanted to rush Corona Apocalypse, so we didn't include security guards. Glenn's character was supposed to narrate the letter that Mateo finds. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the part where we show where we have the USB plugged into the computer, and then it pops up the thing, and then we have Glenn narrate it.
Yeah.
But apparently we just couldn't get him to get a recording of him reading the goddamn thing for whatever reason.
Uh-huh.
I don't freaking know.
He didn't have to like show up. He didn't even have to record his face. He just had to record audio. And it wasn't even that long either. And I don't know whose idea this was, but apparently Glenn's character was going to come back as a decrepit old man. Being like, "No, guys, don't put in that cure," or something like that. I don't know.
I think that was Glenn's idea.
Uh-huh. Okay, 2-in-1 special. There was going to be a montage of us making a cure, but same thing as the security guards. We just want to get this film out the way, so we just skip that. And there was a glass beaker, which we wanted to use for the montage, but we just could not find it for whatever reason. And finally, I saved the best for last, Janet. So, some of you might be wondering, who is Janet? Janet is a plastic skull. And it's in our bloopers video, so... But there's still more to it with Janet.
That's literally the moment that we hit record. That's the origins of it, right there.
Yeah. Like, Landon just was obsessed with this plastic skeleton, and he just, like, ripped off the skull of it. I swear, that dude was in love with it or something. Bro, it's Janet! It's already on our video, but I guess...
Those are, like, our genuine reactions. Like, who the fuck is Janet?
Yeah, like...
Just, look.
So, ignoring all this, we're talking about remaking Chronopocalypse. And if we do get a female to record with us, they might play Janet.
Who is supposed to be the doctor or, like, the
doctor, which...
Like, nurse character.
Looking back at it now, I'm surprised none of us are, like, a medical professional. You would think that would be, like, the...
Like the very first thing.
Most important character in an apocalypse would be like some medical professional.
Again, you could basically just call Chronopocalypse improvised the movie.
Yeah.
And Janet, of course, was also another one of those memes that we just freaking like memed on Landon for so long.
Yeah. So yeah, Janet is basically a doctor who perished in a basement or something like that. That's basically it.
That's Landon's lore, apparently, that he
That's
added in last minute during our goddamn recording of our last scene of the film.
Uh-huh. But that is Corona Apocalypse. Now,
And
Pete's.
we've again, we said this time and time again, we are considering remaking it, and maybe we actually will reconsider going over a lot of those ideas, remembering what we want to do with these ideas, and then finally making videos on them. So if it finally comes to the point where we're like, all right, you know what? Let's just go through all of these ideas, even if even if Ruben logic does apply 110%. That if it's written down, we don't do them. Again, we have short films ready to go, or at least like in the process of being made. We have Ruben's idea that actually was not scrapped. That actually is almost done.
Yeah, it was documented, so you know that means we're going to do it.
So Ruben's idea. Then we have the experimental film, which was documented, but actually is being made, or at least currently is being scripted. And then maybe the mockumentary, who knows? But other than that, we'll leave it right there. We could probably consider making them. It just depends on how we are and if we can just make them right now. Oh, we did have another idea about the I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna say it off screen. But either way, now we're finally moving on to Pete's. And for that, I think you might know a little bit more about it. I mean, we'll both touch on it, but right now, it's a pretty long episode compared to the last one. So, want to take it from me?
All right, so Pete's has been an idea since, like, funnily enough, when we were making our first short film, which was Art That Draws Blood. And the reason I remember this was because that was when we filmed the teasers, and Mateo was talking about, like, you know, if we release the trailer right now, people might get the wrong idea of what those teasers were for.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
So that's how you know this is old, is when those teasers were made, whatever date that was.
We should probably mention that Pete's was the one idea of Glenn's that we're
actually doing,
trying to make.
But that was 2023 that idea was being made, and it's currently March of 2025.
I mean, granted, we're in a much better place now that we've done ever in terms of makings of Pete's. But remember, I want to let you guys know, we pretty much already had a good, like, the majority of it done.
Uh-huh.
But this is before we had a bunch of add-ons that saved the look of Pete's. It now makes it look so much better. But before then, it was as bare bones Minecraft as you can possibly get. And oh my god.
You know, if it takes this long to just make one skit in a video game, it's going to take forever to do anything for any other video game.
Which is why I'm like, why don't we just record another Scribble.io video? It's easy to do, and we could just do it. But for some reason, every time we ever have the chance, I either forget or I'm afraid they're just going to go, nah.
Yeah.
But, so it was... So, yeah, Glenn pretty much had this world built where it was like a knockoff...
Freddy Fazbear's.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And then he just brought up the good idea of, like, you know what, I had this idea we can do to make it into a series, or, no, it was at first going to be just one long, just skit, and long story short, we recorded everything that we needed to record, and that the environment, everything was fine, and then it came to the part where we had to record our audio, and the reason why that we just scrapped it was because of the audio, because the idea was that we would then redub ourselves, or not really overdub, but like basically overdub ourselves, but it would be really hard to do so because you're trying to like match with the characters, but you don't really remember what's supposed to come next. So you would then say like a sentence, and then they would already start moving. So you would have to play catch up, and it would just be a mess.
Mm-hmm.
So then we were like, okay, let's try to re-record everything, and then we never did. We left it in the dust. And then add-ons were made, where it then makes everything look so much freaking better.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I don't really know much from there, like in that middle area, unless you know something.
No, I don't remember much because this was all new. I was barely even invested in this project since I only had like one scene. It was mainly Mateo, Jordan, and Glenn.
Yeah, those are literally the only three that really matter in this entire freaking skit.
Yeah, and I think Jordan also had his own opinion for him, like this whole Pete's thing. He was just mad that like things were just constantly changing.
Yeah, that was his main complaint. Like
I remember at one point he literally slammed his desk, being like, "Okay, are we doing Pete's or not?"
Yeah, we even got to the point where we were debating on whether or not we were even doing it or not. Because Glenn was like, all right, I'm canceling it. Next thing you know, I'm bringing it back and rebranding it. You know, I'm going to stick it with Pete. Like, over the course of, like, a week or 2 weeks. Just a series of fucking changes.
Yep.
Which would then, of course, push everything back. I think you guys are getting the gist on how much of a fucking headache Pete's was for us. Because it was just nothing but rescripts, rewrites, and now Glenn just finally took the courage to just say, you know what, I'm actually just gonna redo everything, but still keep it at Pete's, do a whole new world, have all of these add-ons, and now it looks way better. It's a lot more like it looks more what it should be, and unfortunately, the only problem that we're dealing with right now is that for some reason, excuse me, I, for whatever reason, cannot join that world. But if once we solve that issue, we can actually start freaking recording. But man, this journey with Pete's, like, at this point, we could probably make a whole documentary about, like, fucking Pete's and how much of a fucking headache it was. Like,
in the time of Pete's was made, I completed like 4 series on TikToks.
We probably could have made 4 short films over the course of those, like, how long it's been taking for Pete's to make.
Yeah.
Take that for what you will, people, but yeah. Pete's is still a fucking headache even to this fucking day, so once we finally get it done, because, again, we are working on it, Glenn's actually putting in the effort to actually try and make this into a thing, because, yeah, but I am already awaiting the day where we publish all of these videos to only get, like, 3 views on it.
Yeah.
Because whatever the case may be, unless it pops off, none of it is worth it. None of it is fucking worth it. Is there anything else you want to add on?
I think that's it.
I think that's it. Oh my god. Alrighty, guys, and that will wrap it up for today's podcast. Once again, our next podcast will be next week, and we'll get to the topic, even though we kind of touched on it already. But before we end it, I just want to say that if you guys are actually interested in any of these ideas, or if you want us to actually, be like, you know what, you and Ruben actually try to actually push these out, or have the group actually give a shit and actually make us actually do these skits, then let us know in the comments down below if you actually want to see these videos come to life. And even though they're documented, and the rule is that if they're not documented, that they ain't going to be turned into a video, a lot of these are actually potentially able to be made because they're not that hard to make. It's just that we just don't put the effort in, or we're just very busy. But other than that, I personally want to do a lot of these skits and also a lot of these movie ideas. So, and I'm pretty sure a lot of it applies to Ruben as well. Because currently right now we are working on stuff, like we said, Pete, the experimental film, and also your idea.
Yep.
But we have other ideas that, like for instance, the mockumentary one. I feel like that could be easy to work on because it's just a documentary. I don't think it's gonna be that hard to do. And I mean, we shouldn't really base it off of just how easy it is, because all of the whole point of this is that we always improve off of our last video, so or at least last film. So, like we said, now it's all a matter of if we can actually put in the effort to just push ourselves to getting these videos done. But like we said, we'll leave it up to you guys. Maybe not. We'll probably still do them either way. But other than that, leave it off to Ruben to tell what the next video is going to be for next episode.
So, our next podcast is going to be about Mortal Kombat 1. More specifically, we're going to give our review on it, even though I played it for an hour and then just never stopped playing it. Or I never played it again. That's
Never
what I meant.
stop playing.
Yeah, no. So yeah, we're going to give our full-fledged review, as well as talk about, why the game's been declining over its life cycle, basically.
I've been wanting to do this episode for a while, but I wanted to wait until the entirety of Combat Pack 2 was finally finished to give off the review. So, yeah, I'm kind of excited for this, and actually I can make this into a full-fledged video and not just kind of like what we did with the Marvel Rivals episode, where I then turned it into an actual video. Mm-hmm. So, I'm pretty excited for that. But on that note, guys, one last time, if you guys want to see us actually make these skits, I might me and Ruben might maybe push the group to just make these skits or make these movies, because, again, they're not hard to do. We just need them to actually help out. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. But on that note, I'm Mateo.
And I'm Ruben.
And we will see you guys next week.